Hey y'all, welcome to The Chanelist. It's your girl, Roy Chanel, and in this video, I will be detailing why I quit my corporate job at 22. So just a bit of background, I graduated with my undergraduate degree in finance in May of 2018, so last year, and I started working full-time end of June 2018. So reason number one, I did not have a great relationship with my manager. She was a poor manager. She did not give me the proper support when it came to like different trainings and informing me of different expectations of like meetings, or this is what I would expect for you to do. Like that just wasn't clear, so that leads into poor communication. We would both leave meetings, like our meetings, with two different ideas of what the follow-ups were, or she would have an expectation of this is what she wanted me to do and never communicated that. And so when it wasn't done, it's like, oh, I communicated that. I'm like, no, you didn't. And so it was a lot of back and forth, poor communication. I didn't feel like she really understood me. And even with multiple multiple powwows of us trying to get to a even ground and like, I hear you, you hear me, it just never worked. So it was a lot of, yes, it was a lot of back and forth, very poor communication, as well as she was passive aggressive. And I'm sure everyone watching this video has dealt with someone that was passive aggressive before. We know how annoying that can be. And just think about if it's someone that's in a position of authority over you. Annoying times 3. But yeah, she was like very passive aggressive and lacked maturity. So the petty back and forth, the sly comments, the belittling, like that's not my thing. We're just gonna be direct and say what it is, or just do the work and figure out whether or not I'm projecting this onto this person or not, and like doing that self-analysis and like, is this just me? Am I looking at it? You know, doing that process. I do that so I don't, you know, project my thoughts of what's my perception of someone onto them. And so she definitely did not do that. And just also she lacked self-awareness. So she spoke to people in a very harsh way. And she didn't recognize it. And like immediately, y'all, probably 1 to 2 weeks in, I noticed, it was my first day, my second day, because the first day we were doing training, I was doing training down at like a different office. And the second day in, I like heard her talk to someone, and I was just like, I was just trying to run through the different options, like, why did she speak to this person like this? And I'm like, you know, this is day 1 at my office, so I'm like, you know, I'm not going to jump to conclusions. As long as she doesn't talk to me like that, we're good. And she didn't talk to me like that until I communicated how I felt about, like, this is about a month in. I was trying to give it a good run and really accurately analyze what the environment was and what my situation was before communicating, hey, I like this or I don't like this. And so once I finally had that conversation, things went downhill, and she started talking to me like she was talking to that person on my first day and how she talks to me to other people. And so I will give her credit. She does great work. She's really intelligent and she's good at her job. But as far as her interpersonal skills and leadership management skills, they're just not there. Like, and the lack of self-awareness was mind-boggling. And I had empathy for her because I have been in positions in which I lack self-awareness, and I'm still not perfect with like being fully aware of the way that I say things and how that how people may perceive that or receive the way that I'm saying, or even the content of what I'm saying. You know, I'm not perfect, but I have evolved. I have had conversations with friends and they told me, hey, Zakoya, there's X, Y, and Z. People are taking like X, Y, and Z. I had a resistance in the beginning, of course, but I began to fully analyze and understand that if I want to have certain types of relationships or certain levels of influence, that I have to be more cognizant of the way that I speak. And I wasn't ill-intentioned, but you know, just tailoring for your audience, as well as just making sure that people feel respected when you speak to them. A poor manager, that was driver number 1. Driver number 2 was that I lacked passion for finance. So I knew when I was getting my degree, I knew that finance wasn't something that I planned to do for a long time. I really just went to business school to get a business background because I know that I want to be an entrepreneur. So this was just supposed to be an experience for me to learn as much as I can about a successful company. I knew finance wasn't something that gave me energy. I also interned with this company. So the summer prior, I interned, and that was my first like real work experience in finance. And I knew that the work wasn't energizing, but the company was good, the team that I worked with was good, the overall group that I was in was good, as well as the networking with the other interns and other people in the company. Everything was good. So I was like, the work isn't fulfilling, it's not energizing, but I didn't expect it to be either, because again, I knew that finance, my heart wasn't in finance. But that, me not having the passion for finance coupled with all these other reasons that I'm going to continue to list, made this experience unbearable. So lack of passion for finance. And what's so funny is that in while finance, like, it's not complex math. You can do complex formulas in Excel, but it's not complex math. It's still math at the end of the day. It's still numbers. And while I enjoy synchronicities, I don't really enjoy numbers. Math was never my favorite subject. That was always my least favorite subject. So I always chuckle at the fact that I even majored in finance. Oftentimes, very frequently actually, people, when I like had meetings to get to know different people in the company, they're just like, based off of your interests and based off the things that you're saying and your personality, you don't really fit like the mold of a finance person, a typical finance person. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know. But again, like I said, I knew that my passion wasn't in this. I just wanted to get an experience. I plan on working at this company 1 to 3 years. Ended up working less than that. So I worked. So officially, the full duration of the time that I worked at this company was 7 months and 6 days. So less than a year. But yeah, my passion is just not in finance. And so that leads into my next point of why I quit. And that's because it's not in alignment with my purpose. And I wasn't clear on what my purpose was once I started with this company. I knew different avenues and different areas that I wanted to explore, and I had different business ideas, but I wasn't sure what to pursue first. So I didn't have that clear vision, or even like that clear vision statement for my life on this is what it is that I'm here to do, or at least what I'm here to do now, and this is the goal that I'm working towards. I did not have that. I just knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I was interested in XYZ avenues. And so during this time, it catapulted the soul searching, what is my purpose process. Because I was in so much despair. I was so depressed. I was like, this can't be it. This cannot be it. I was like, I need to get clear on what it is that I'm going to do now, because I'm leaving. Like, I know I'm not going to be here long. I know that I'm not going to last to a year. So I need to get clear on what my purpose is, so I can start making plans and making moves to start going into that direction. And also just have more solace for like, yeah, this really isn't, which I knew that finance wasn't what I'm supposed to be doing, but like just more comfort. Finance is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm actually supposed to be doing this. But it's a bit harder once you don't know what this is. So I did a lot of soul searching to discover what my purpose was, and I'll do another video talking about how I did that, and just the space that I want to be in, and the space that gives me energy, the space that doesn't feel like work when I'm doing it, things that I do now in my own time. Just pretty much the core of the core thread of Zakoya's life now, and as it has been for years, is in this, connected to this purpose. And so that, like I said, this experience catapulted me to like take charge and really seeking out that answer. And then once I got clear on that answer, it was just even more like, yeah, no, this is totally not in alignment with this path. So like I definitely need to get out of here, and I need to get out of here quick. Next was, honestly, the corporate life, just not my thing. It's not my thing. And again, I knew that working for someone, working for a corporation, whether, large one or small one, whatever, was not a part of the plan. Again, I plan to be an entrepreneur. So I knew that going in, but I expected just to get some experience so that I could, you know, just do it for a few years, right? I did it during my internship. I was like, it's cool. I can do this between 1 year and 3 years. And trying to do that, I was like, yeah, maybe not. I just didn't like having to go to that office every day. I enjoyed the days that I could work from home. I appreciated the resources in the corporate environment, but honestly, the politics as well. It felt like high school type stuff, and I'm just like, I don't care enough to play these games and try to be strategic in this realm. Like, I don't care enough. I'm not going to kiss ass. I'm not going to just chat it up, laugh it up, stay late working, go to all these happy, like, I'm just not feeling it. Especially once all the other areas weren't being fulfilled and I did not enjoy the work that I was doing. My manager and I weren't getting along, nor did I enjoy the team that I was with. There are definitely some good people on the team, and that's not to say other people are bad, but there are people that I enjoyed, very few on the team, but overall I did not enjoy the team. I did not enjoy the culture of the group that I was working in, none of that. So it's just, nothing was panning out to be what it is that I expected based off my internship. My internship with the company was phenomenal. I was like, you know what? Like I said, I could really do this for a short time. And coming back this time, it was such, I was so disillusioned. Like, I was like, yeah, no, this is nothing like what I thought it would be. This is nothing like my previous experience. The work was also very challenging for me this time around. Things just weren't clicking as easy as they had been before. And even with my internship, like I said, that was my first real work experience in finance. It was challenging, but I was up for the challenge. I was able to see success at the end, right? I got my offer, but like, I had great support. I was with a dynamic and diverse group. And yeah, it was there were just so many other ingredients in that pot that helped make success for me. But when you feel a lack of empowerment, you don't feel like you have a voice, but coupled with not enjoying the work or the team, it was just so many ingredients this time around that contributed to the lack of success or failure. I don't even want to call it failure, but like lack of success. And I believe that this happened for a reason. It truly had to have been, besides those actual environmental things that hindered my success, like environmental, external and internal. I really just believe it was divine intervention, because there is no reason why some of this stuff was so hard for me. But again, if everything did come easy to me and it was as good as it was during my internship with this company, then I could still be at that job today. Like, I could say, you know what, maybe I could push it 1 to 3 years, and then that's just 1 to 3 years further away from my purpose and living in alignment with what I came here to do, I would be. So, and this experience forced me to get real with myself and say, Zakoya, you need to figure out what it is that you want to do and what it is that you're supposed to be doing here on this earth, and getting clear on that and start working towards that. I remember, and it's so funny with like the lack of passion, because I would just look at Marvel. I felt like I was on a TV show when I would just look and marvel at different people in a company. I'm like, they really enjoy this. Like, this is fun to them. And I'm like, I don't feel that at all. Like, I'm just like, how do they feel this? And I'm just like, yeah, no. It's not because I'm new and I'm in an entry-level role. Like, I'm like, I don't care to work up. I don't care to, making more money is nice, but I could do that doing something I enjoy. Like, working for a check, which is all I was doing in that job, is not worth it to me. I did not feel that was worth my time. And it took a little bit of self-assessment of my value for me to feel comfortable and confident in saying that, yeah, the money that I'm making, which is good money, was not worth my time, not worth me being there. I could be so much more impactful in the area that I'm actually interested in, and be more fulfilled in my life. And this job literally was draining. It was doing the opposite of fulfilling me. It was draining me. And it got to the point where I had to cut off like all the other things in my life that were giving me energy in order to try to improve this situation that was just continually draining me. So there are different avenues, and honestly, I knew that I was saying that I wanted to quit like a month in, and that's when it was, in that time, it was very much, I'm like, okay, you know, once again, trying to give good faith for this job. Like, this is, you know, my first time, this is my first full-time job. So I'm like, you know, just give it some time. Give it some time. You're just transitioning in. But what hit me hard was like, this is it? Like, there, you know, unless something else shakes and, you know, I make this leap into entrepreneurship or some other greater opportunity comes along, like, this is it. Like, I'm stuck. And that hit me like a ton of bricks, y'all. that was the first thing that started making me depressed, was that, like, that's it. The difference with my internship was I knew that I was going back to college my senior year. All right, I had something else to go to, versus me being full-time, and it's like, this is it. And I was like, this can't be it. And then a lot of doubt started creeping in, like, what was Akoya? What if you don't save enough money to start your own business? What if you get complacent and you don't like leave? You know, what if you get stuck like many other people have in this company, as well as other, you know, corporate companies? They get stuck in what they're doing and are, you know, the more conditioned they are to working in that corporate environment, the less risk they're willing to take with pursuing their dreams. And I'm like, that's not me. And I'm like, that just doesn't sound like anything of who I am, and nor is it what I want to be. I'm like, I'd rather take the risk and fall flat on my butt. It got to the point where I'm like, I'd rather, actually, let me backtrack. So I knew I started saying I wanted to quit to my best friend in like the first month, and it continued after that. In October, once I actually planned to quit, so I planned to quit like the first week of November initially. Once I planned to quit, so in October, I was just like, I really want to quit. Every day I was going into work, like imagining putting my 2 weeks notice in, leaving work, like, it's okay, because you're gonna quit, Sequoia. You're gonna quit soon. So I was like, I really want to quit, but I don't have another job lined up, nor do I want to do another job in finance, because this just isn't what I want to do, and I'm not going to continue to waste my time doing something like this. But I'm like, I don't have another job lined up. I don't have an additional source of income. I'm in a, you know, city that I'm not from. I moved here for the company. So I'm just thinking like all of the expenses that I have, and I'm like, I don't know what I'll do once I leave, and it just wouldn't be smart, right? It's not logical to quit your job when you don't have any other sources of income to come in, nor will you be able to get, you know, financial support from your family. So you're really on your own. And I'm like, at the time I was like, I would have to work, you know, I would quit my job and end up having to get another job at an hourly place. And I'm like, that just doesn't, once again, logically make sense, because at least I'm making salary here. So even if I decide to slack off, say for a month, that's extra time that I have to, you know, figure something out, and I'm still getting that check, rather than me, like, my time, each hour I spend equates to the dollars that I get from that job. So it just didn't really make sense for me to quit and go work at an hourly place. And so I was very stuck. I knew the decision that I wanted to make. I'm like, I didn't get clear on my purpose yet, but I was like, I'll figure that out after this. And once I wanted to quit, I was like, the only thing that's stopping me is the lack of financial stability. Like, I don't know where my finances, you know, what I'll do, how things will pan out. But then it got to the point where I was like, I don't give a flip. Like, I'm like, you know what, I trust in the alignment of the universe that me making this move towards my purpose, and instead of sitting at this desk every day wondering like, what the flip am I doing at this desk? Like, this cannot be it for me. That the universe would align the right opportunities, the right people, places, things, whatever, for me to, you know, start making money in that way. And so I decided to quit without a plan. I didn't quit in the beginning of November. I quit January 31st. And no, I still don't have an additional like source of income. I have 3 priorities in my life. YouTube being one for this, time, being while I wait for things to start aligning, which they already have. So, but no, I still quit without a solid plan or going to work for someone else, because I said I don't want to work for anyone else. After I quit, I said this would be the only company that I work for, and after that, I am completely self-employed, working for myself. That's what makes me happy, and that's just more in alignment with who I am and the things that I want to do and always knew that I wanted to do. So, no, there's no need for me to work for anyone else. But yes, but me waiting until the time that I did allow for me to capture the maximum amount of benefits from my company to where I don't have to stress about finances during this time. So that's something that I'm really grateful for. So again, getting clear on my purpose, manifesting what it is that I want, getting that and more. So now things are gravy, and I'm working on my 3 priorities. But yeah, I would say though, for people that do want to quit their jobs and are unhappy with their jobs, because this is very common now. I feel like maybe just with like millennials or just the younger generation, the 5 years and less into corporate, we are like, yeah, this isn't it. I don't want to do this. I don't like to do this, and I don't have to do this. So I'm going to leave and do something that I enjoy. I would say don't quit because like the work is tough or it takes a lot more time to get things done or to catch on. I would say that's not the reason why I quit, because you're going to face a challenge no matter what. Whether you're in entrepreneurship, you're working at this company in a different role, whatever it is, you're going to face challenges and hardships, and you have to work through that. That's how you build character, right? And develop more and build more skills. So that's not, to me, a good reason to quit. Because I don't want anyone taking that from this video. But if you know what your purpose is, and if you don't, you find it and you figure that this purpose, what I want to do in my life, is not in alignment with what I'm doing now, then that's when you can start making those decisions. So again, I did not have a significant amount of savings when I quit my company. But again, like I said, I ended up manifesting the best possible package for me to transition out the company. But thinking through things, I would say, don't let the facts of like, this is what the situation is and this is what I will have and won't have once I leave, don't let that stop you. Because again, I feel like if you're walking divinely in your purpose, everything will align for you the way it should be. But if you do, taking that leap of faith and leaving, and you don't have savings or you don't have a family to rely on, or any sources of income to rely on, I would say, are you okay with getting that hourly job? Are you okay with, say maybe you having to sleep in your car? Like, are you okay with these different possible negative outcomes? And again, like I said, during the initial time when I wanted to quit, I was like saying, that's not really, I have a certain lifestyle. I'm not up for that life. But it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't give a flip. I will do what I have to do to make it work, because that, I'm sure I'll be much happier doing that and hustling for that and hustling for my happiness. How about that? The happy hustle, rather than hustling for this paycheck, doing something that's draining my energy in which I'm not fulfilled at all. But yes, I would definitely talk more about finding your purpose and how I found mine. So that helped me be able to get that courage to step out on faith and start working towards that purpose. Thank you for liking, commenting your experience or words of wisdom, sharing with your friends, and thank you for subscribing. I look forward to catching you all in my next video.